like to call the village board meeting to order. If you would stand for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone here and watching at home. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Trustee Carter? Trustee Carter?
Present.
Trustee Kazam?
Present.
Trustee Mariscal?
Present.
Trustee Gatt?
Present.
Trustee Weisenberg?
Present.
Trustee DeVore?
Present.
All present, Mayor.
Okay, everyone's here. Maybe the smarter ones are home staying warm, but welcome everyone. We would be at item 4, approval of the minutes from the Board of Trustees meeting on January 19th, 2021. I would ask for a motion to approve the minutes.
I move to approve the minutes for Board of Trustees meeting, January 19th.
Second, please.
Second.
Second by Trustee Weisenberg. Any questions or corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. We would be at announcements. I don't really have a lot of announcements, but I do want to acknowledge the Public Works Department for their fine work on keeping the roads in very good condition. So dealing with a lot of cold and water main breaks lately and with a lot of snow. So I think the roads look terrific. So thanks to the Public Works crew. Madam Clerk, any correspondence?
Yes, Mayor, I do have one letter here. I have a thank you note that reads, "To the Village of Peoria Heights, thanks again for all of your support during the difficult times for me, Joel."
Okay. We would be at comments from the audience. If anyone would like to address the board, please come forward to the podium and give your name and address and try to keep your remarks under 5 minutes. Anyone want to address the board tonight?
I would, sir.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Welcome.
Thank you. Over here?
Yes, please. And if you'd use the microphone so everyone at home can hear you, please.
Okay. Thank you very much. My name is Jeff Heller. I'm a resident of Peoria County, and I reside in Dunlap. I own a rental property located here in the Heights at 2606 East Cardinal Court. I contract with a rental company by the name of Professional Leasing Services, or PLS, and they manage the property for me. I've been renting the property out since August of 2018, and at the present time, the second tenant is living there. I encountered an unfortunate situation when it was brought to my attention by the Professional Leasing Services property manager that very high water bills had accrued on the property. The first tenant, who ended up moving out, skipping out on the rent, made very few payments on the water bills, and that had a direct effect on me as well as PLS. I was here a couple of weeks ago, and I met with Peoria Heights Water District Technician Emily Smendred. She graciously provided me detailed spreadsheets, a payment history, and graphs showing the steep incline in the water usage. Further investigation and repairs made by PLS at my expense revealed that the problem was due to a running toilet, which the current tenant knew about. However, she failed to notify PLS. There was also a running hose spigot on the outside of the house that had not been turned out. When I was living at the property in 2016, my average water bills with Peoria Heights were approximately $35 a month. On an annual basis, that's $420 a year. I reviewed the payment history that Emily provided me and discovered that since January of 2020 through February of this year, a total of $1,539.70 has been paid through PLS, my property manager, to Peoria Heights Water District. Obviously, this is a very large amount of money. There were also several penalties that were assessed for late payment. The reason the payments were late is because the tenant, the former tenant living there, as well as the current tenant, failed to send in the money to PLS so that those payments on the water bills could be made timely. I have not resided in the property since November of 2016. I appreciate being given the opportunity to speak here. I'd like to just express first of all, my gratitude for Emily for providing all the information that I and PLS needed to work on to review. Also here to express my concern and frustration over what has transpired. It is my understanding at the current time that the water bill is paid in full and there's a small credit on the account. Due to the extenuating circumstances, I would like the Village Council and/or Peoria Heights Water District, in light of the circumstances, to again review the information and consider giving me a partial credit due to the negligence of the tenant. I would also like to indicate that under both leases, the former tenant and the current tenant are responsible as tenants at the property to pay the water bills, whatever those water bills end up being. I would be more than happy, as well as PLS, to provide any additional information to the Village Council or Peoria Heights Water District in this matter. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Sir, I'm sorry to hear about your predicament. I would offer to sit down with you. Chief Sutton and I both would at some point, either remotely by phone, but
okay.
You probably have a little bit of information on this, Dustin.
I do. Mr. Heller, I am aware of the situation. I think by reviewing what has happened on 2026 East Cardinal Court, I think where we run into a problem is the management company. I think the village, our water department goes above and beyond to notify, when they see something like this happen, and
right.
Notified the person that we have on file as a contact. I think this could probably be avoided in the future if you were that point of contact.
Okay.
And we can change that, but we're just going on what we have on file. I did look here, and Emily did remove the $55 late fee
Correct.
After she talked to you.
Correct.
So I guess that, we can't be responsible for bad tenants. I mean, there are a lot of bad tenants all over the county.
Right.
But I do think our water department, when they do see these spikes in bills that are irregular, they go above and beyond to contact whoever we have on file for that notification. I think what happened was that the management company dropped the ball and didn't pass that on to you. I know they just paid it or didn't maybe move forward to the next level to see what the issue was. So I think that moving forward, I think this will probably be avoided if we change that. If you're not happy with the management company that you have, I think we could make you that person that we'd cut out the middleman, and then you could address those issues on your property. But that's your call, not ours. You see the situation the village is in.
No, I understand that.
Yeah, and we do tell our employees to keep be proactive. If you do see something like this, if there's a question, they'll send our guys out to go look at it and see if we can find the problem. I don't know a lot of the water departments that do that, if they see a high bill, to try to contact somebody to go look at it. I think, our guys do, they go above and beyond, and I apologize, I was in a long meeting that day and I missed you, but when I did get out, I was briefed on the entire incident, so I had heard.
I appreciate that.
Again, print me out some history and, try to work through this, and I did review it again today, so that's, that would be my recommendation, is that if you're not happy with that company, maybe we put you on the contact list, so we'd let you know, or in addition to,
That's a very good suggestion, Mr. Sutton. I'd appreciate that if you could do that. I will have some issues to address with PLS. It's created a hardship on me as well. I was receiving rental payments on the property before the spike in the water consumption occurred. And due to the COVID pandemic, they have told me they're making no efforts at this time to collect those backwater bills from the tenant. It has had an unfortunate effect on my income, as I have not received a rent payment since either September or October of last year. I just wanted to ask you, did you, by any chance, have any discussions with Mark Wagner? He's the owner of the company?
No, I have not. I
You have
haven't
not.
talked to that company.
Okay.
I have not.
I just wanted to find out.
Yeah.
We only notified the number on call, correct, that we had in the water office?
Yeah, exactly.
Pardon me?
We only notified the number that we had on record in the water office to contact for the property, so that,
Okay.
And I'm not sure who that employee would have been.
It may have been Mandy Lucas or Tamara.
I'd imagine that, that go-between the tenant and the owner, I mean, that's a big step. If that doesn't get passed on, we have a lot of these. You're not the only one
I understand that.
that we get calls, owners complaining about management companies, and there's really nothing the village can do at that point. We're just going on what we have on file, again.
I understand that. Well, you've given me some new information tonight, because they didn't notify me to explain the problem until I called in to find out why I hadn't received payments over the last 3 months.
Right.
And then it was brought to my attention. But then, in reviewing the payment history, I saw that they were forwarding the money, for these large water bills without notifying me at the time or before it happened. So I will, at this point, I will talk to the owner as well as a couple of the employees at PLS.
And if you want to, I can speak with you after the meeting, but
Okay.
we can change, how this is covered if we have something in the future on this. This is a very easy fix, but unfortunately, we're just going on, this is our practice, and again, I can't stress enough how above and beyond they're very attentive, very efficient when they see some irregularities, and they will reach out or send our people out to try to find the problem. They really do a great job on that.
Right.
Most will not, but we can only go by what we have on record. So why don't we
Right.
remedy that tonight? We'll pass that on, get that in the computer tomorrow.
Great.
And hopefully that'll address the issues.
I appreciate
there's
it.
probably not much we can do, sir, but I would be willing, or one of us would be willing to contact your property management company to say that we contacted you, and if we could help in some way, we're willing to do it, but again, we offer to meet with you either after the meeting or by phone or in person, and I'm sorry that you had to go through this, but we'll see what we can do, okay?
Okay, I plan to stay for the entire meeting, so again, Mr. Sutton, I'd be happy to provide you or anybody else with my contact information, and we'll just go from there, and I will speak to PLS further. Thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you. Anyone else under public comment? Anyone else? Going once? Going twice? Public comment is closed. We'll move on to trustee reports. First is Public Works. Trustee Carter.
I don't think that we have anything. I'm not sure if Chris or Mike are there since I'm on the phone, but I do want to ditto what the mayor has said, that we appreciate the Peoria Heights Public Works Department, the street and the water, for keeping up with all the water main breaks and all the snow that we've had. These guys have worked their butts off the last few weeks, and we're proud of them, so keep up the good work. Mike or Chris, are you guys there? Do you guys have anything?
Chris does,
I'd like to say,
oh, sorry, Mike, I didn't know you were on the line.
yeah, I'm online. Yeah, I did go to sleep, yeah. But anyway, I just want to appreciate for us to do our job, so due diligently is the equipment that we've got acquired over the years from the board, and we can keep up on it, and we got a good crew that we all work as a team, and we care about the heights and love the heights, so that's all I have.
Thanks, Mike. Chris? Nothing? All right, anything else, Trustee Carter?
No, no new business.
Thank you. We would be at property maintenance. Anything, Chief Sutton or Trustee Mariscal?
Just a brief update on our generator. It's fully operational. I know that we've had some work. We connected Village Hall to the generator, so that is fully operational. That's just a brief update, and that's all I have under that.
Okay. Economic and Community Development, Trustee Kazam?
Hi there, Mayor and everyone. Well, just that we continue to have the meetings with IDOT, conversations about our grant, and unfortunately I was unable to attend that meeting this last Thursday, so if Administrator / Chief Sutton, pardon me, wants to comment on that further, I'd be happy to have him do that. Secondly, that we are pursuing the grant that we did receive, and we're now purchasing the composting kiosk, so there'll be no more news on that to come. And then also, we continue to pursue, and we're in the housing grant with DCEO, and we are in the phase now where we're communicating with key stakeholders right now. So we're conducting interviews, and we'll have that grant hopefully together pretty soon. And then I also just wanted to let all my fellow trustees know, and also the community, how much interest we've had. We've had so many meetings, and the mayor attends them, and the chief attends them, and Sarah and others, with new businesses wanting to come to Peoria Heights right now. So that's always exciting, but I particularly think under the conditions of this last year with COVID, to see all of these entrepreneurs, both shops and restaurants, with this much enthusiasm wanting to open new businesses in the Heights, that's really something that we should be very proud of.
Thank you, Beth. Any questions for Trustee Kazam? Just a couple of words on the ongoing meetings with IDOT, and Chief Sutton and I both participated in that meeting, which was held remotely. Also part of the meeting were representatives from the city of Peoria, since the city of Peoria does have ownership of part of Route 29 up until the Peoria Heights boundaries. So again, we were talking about options, and that meeting was held with the higher ups at IDOT, including one gentleman from Springfield. So Dustin, I don't know if I've left anything out. It's just an ongoing conversation we need to have as far as options.
You're correct, Mayor. They just kind of went with kind of what we talked about the meeting prior to, the different options. We did have a little bit of a cost association with each option, but again, it's in the infancy stages. I know that there are a lot of questions that Peoria has to answer on their end on the options they were, introduced to. So the meetings will continue. Very excited about the project. So is IDOT, so is Senator Kaler, so is Peoria. So we'll keep moving forward.
Okay, we would be at administration. Trustee Gett?
Thank you, Mayor. I don't really have any. I just wanted to throw in my 2 cents of telling the Public Works what a good job they've been doing, and we really appreciate it. You can tell the difference when you cross from Peoria to Peoria Heights, just by the roads. So, anyhow, Chief, you have anything?
The only thing I have is that we're starting to work on this year's budget. Starting to meet with department heads, met with Stephanie, start to go over the numbers. So I would say in the next 3 or 4 meetings will be the first view of the budget. So again, we're meeting with some of the department heads and trustees this week to start getting the numbers down.
Thank you, gentlemen. We'd move on to fire. Trustee Weisenberg, and then Chief, if you have anything to add, go. We'll start with you, Brandon.
Sure. Thanks, Mayor. The only update I have is regarding the Peoria Heights Fire Department cadet program. It's off to a great start. We have 2 seniors and 1 junior who are in the cadet program. And last week we had a new firefighter join the department. So,
Chief, any updates? All right, I know you literally hit the ground running in a lot of ways. You've been running a lot of calls, so thank you, and thanks to Mike Wu and everyone else. Any questions for Brandon, Trustee Weisenberg? Okay, we'll move on to police. Trustee DeVore?
Thank you, Mayor. The only thing I have today is, just to kind of go off of what everyone else has said for Public Works. Thank you so much for the street department for doing such a great job. But if we could just remind the community that if you are able to not park on the street and you have a garage or driveway that you can park in, it would really help for them to get the roads clean and to just keep the entire town safer for everyone.
Thank you, Sarah. Chief, anything else?
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Okay, moving right along then. Any old business to come before the board? Hearing none, we'll go right into new business. The first is approval of an MFT resolution in the amount of $350,928.64 for road salt, seal coating, spray patching, and engineering. Trustee Carter, I'd ask for a motion to approve that.
Make a motion to approve.
A second, please.
Second.
All right, we have a second. Cheryl, go right ahead.
Okay, so this is our typical, we have to approve a dollar amount for the following year. And it looks like Herman and Associates, and I do believe Mike and the chief have probably sat together and Stephanie and gone over what we predict that we could possibly need for the following year, which is $350,928.64 is what we predict.
Thank you very much, Trustee Carter.
Questions on that?
Any questions? Okay, if you're ready for the question, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Carter?
Aye.
Trustee Mariscal?
Aye.
Trustee Kazam?
Aye.
Trustee Gett?
Aye.
Trustee Weisenberg?
aye.
Trustee DeVore?
Aye.
Okay, that passes. Next, we would be at approval of the Peoria County Night of Hope event in Tower Park on October 2nd, 2021. Trustee Kazam, I'd ask for a motion to approve that.
I make a motion to approve.
And a second, please.
Second.
Trustee Weisenberg, okay. Any explanation here, Beth?
I think, well, we discussed this at our last meeting. It's pretty common. They're just requesting to use Tower Park for their event, the Night of Hope.
Thank you. Lots of people want to come to Peoria Heights, and that's good. So any discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Carter?
Aye.
Trustee Mariscal?
Aye.
Trustee Kazam?
Aye.
Trustee Gett?
Aye.
Trustee Weisenberg?
Aye.
Trustee DeVore?
Aye.
All right, that passes. Next, we would be at approval of a donation to the Peoria Heights Fine Art Fair in the amount of $5,000. Trustee Kazam, I'd ask for a motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
And there is a second. Beth, go right ahead, please.
We also discussed this at our last meeting. My fellow trustees know this is a request by the Arts Council for $5,000 for the Arts Fair in May. Unfortunately, we were unable to have last year's event due to COVID, but there was a very successful event the year prior. And I don't know if any of my fellow trustees have any further questions. We discussed it kind of at length in the last meeting.
This is Cheryl Carter. I do. I'm sorry I wasn't there at the last meeting. Did we donate $5,000 the last time?
We actually donated, and Administrator Sutton and Stephanie will be able to give you the specifics. I should have that information in front of me, and I'm sorry I don't, but from my memory, we donated in-kind donations. So we gave them the porta potties and we paid for like a balloon person events for the kids and that type of thing to the amount of, I don't know, Stephanie, was it $2,800 or was it $5,000?
It was, I think it was 28.
It was 2,800, yes.
Okay, so $2,800 last year. I mean, pardon me, 2 years ago at the last event.
Okay, where's the 5,000 coming out of?
It will be coming out
I
of,
think it's coming out of our marketing budget. That's what we have the money, it's coming out of our marketing budget for Peoria Heights, but I would like for Stephanie to weigh in on that and tell us specifically.
that is correct.
Okay.
And Trustee Carter, they also presented us with an outline of what that money was going to be used for also at the last meeting.
Any other discussion? Barb, anything you forgot to say at the last meeting that you want to say tonight?
Thank you for letting us present just lightly again this evening. Last 2 weeks ago, I did not have the specific information as far as the porta potties. They're $90 each for a sanitation station. They're $125 for garbage. The Exhibit A gallery will absorb those expenses with using the trash that I have behind my business, which will be approximately $125. So with that absorption there will not be any of the money that would be used towards that $5,000.
Okay, any other questions or discussion? Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Thank you. Trustee Carter?
Aye.
Trustee Mariscal?
Nay.
Trustee Kazam?
Aye.
Trustee Gett?
Aye.
Trustee Weisenberg?
Aye.
Trustee DeVore?
Aye.
All right, that passes with one opposed. Good luck on your event, ladies. I can't thank you enough for all you do for the community. Next is approval of ordinance 2021-1645, an ordinance approving a franchise agreement with Comcast for the provision of a cable system within the village of Peoria Heights. Trustee Gett, I'd ask for a motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve.
Second, please. Second, did I hear a second?
Second?
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Trustee Gett.
Okay, this is basically, we do this every year, have this agreement with them to let them sell their wares or their service here in Peoria Heights. You want to add more to it, Chief?
No, I was just going to say, this is a renewal. It's not an annual. I think the last contract was 10 years, but this did go through legal. Yep.
Any questions? All right, if you're ready for the main question, Madam Clerk, call
Well, yes, this is Cheryl Carter. I do have a question. Because there's a lot of people, a lot of flack out there that we only allow Comcast in our area. So if we sign this, does that mean for like another 5 or 10 years, we can't get another internet or cable company through here, only Comcast?
We're not
Actually,
eliminating it.
It doesn't say that. It says just the opposite. It says that, we have to be open to what they call competitive equity, which is allowing any other service providers in that want in. We can't make service providers come to the community, but we can certainly welcome them if they want to.
everyone's welcome to knock on the door, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so if they do, like I think we also get money off of them also, correct?
That's correct. 5% of their fees.
Do we know what that, Stephanie, do you happen to know what that annual is, like off the top of your head?
$90,000.
Estimate?
$90,000.
So if we want, I'm just asking, so if another like the I-3 or whatever that is, if they wanted to come in, we would let them come in and we can have them, we could charge them, is that right?
Yes, we would have to charge the same amount that we charge Comcast. We can't grant one company a more favorable franchise rate than other companies. And frankly, I'm not sure that we could exclude somebody if we wanted to. I think it has to be completely open to competition. But the only thing we do have to do is keep everybody at the same franchise rate.
Okay, so if we all agree to this, and it's actually Xfinity or Comcast, whatever you want to call them nowadays, if we can approve this, but then if another cable internet company wants to come through also, we can also let them do that. I just want to
Absolutely.
make sure that that's clear.
Absolutely, and the franchise fee is pretty standard.
We are not bound to Comcast or Xfinity.
No. Not in a limited sense. We can open this up to anybody that wants to come to town.
Any other questions or discussion?
At the same time. We can have 2 or 3 or 10 in there.
Absolutely.
Doors open, come
Okay.
on in.
Anyone else? Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Trustee Carter?
Aye.
Trustee Mariscal?
Aye.
Trustee Kazam?
Aye.
Trustee Gatt?
Aye.
Trustee Weisenberg?
Aye.
Trustee DeVore?
Okay.
That passes. Okay, next is approval of ordinance 2021-1646, an ordinance amending Title IX, Chapter 8B of the Village Code of the Village of Peoria Heights for the purpose of establishing residential garage regulations. Trustee DeVore, I'd ask for a motion to approve this.
Make a motion to approve this?
Second.
Second by Trustee Gett. Okay, Trustee DeVore, please go ahead.
We talked about this in several meetings now about how having a garage door code is just really for the safety of everyone, and we currently don't have this. So this would put in our building codes that all garages have to have a garage door on them.
Thank you. Any questions for Trustee DeVore?
I don't know if anyone has any questions.
Would anyone who currently doesn't have one, would they be grandfathered
Do you have a
in?
problem with garages not having a garage door?
We do have some properties that do not have, like their garages are just wide open. This is causing a problem for like animals living there. It could be a public safety because we wouldn't know if maybe, someone was squatting or hiding in them. So it's a safety for the resident that owns the property, the neighbors, and the community as a whole, for it, so that, we don't have animals running rampant and there's no kind of danger to public safety.
Okay, so the ones that, so we approve this, and is this like those people are grandfathered in, or how are those people gonna get notified?
It will be complaint driven, and they will not be grandfathered in, but we will work with them. We understand it's a little bit more difficult to have a garage door installed than overnight. We'd give them the same courtesy we do with any new ordinance, but they wouldn't be grandfathered in. The ordinance also differentiates between carport. I know we have a few carports in the village, but there are some garages, believe it or not, that do not have garage doors, and I agree with Trustee DeVore. It is an issue, and believe it or not, we do receive a lot of complaints on it. So I think this is an ordinance that I support. So if there's any other questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them.
Trustee Weisenberg, go ahead.
Yeah.
My question was answered. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Carter? Trustee Carter?
Yeah, I'm not sure on this one. So can I'm gonna have to say no until I can figure out more information on it.
Trustee Mariscal?
Aye.
Trustee Kazam?
Aye.
Trustee Gett?
Aye.
Trustee Weisenberg?
Aye.
Trustee DeVore?
Pass.
Okay, that passes. Next is approval of a street closure for the Peoria Heights Fine Art Fair. Trustee DeVore, I'd ask for a motion to approve that.
Make a motion to approve the street closure for the Fine Arts Fair.
And a second, please.
Second.
Trustee Gett seconds. Trustee DeVore, any comment on this? Go ahead.
I feel like this is just our standard procedure when someone requests this. This will be closing Prospect down and rerouting traffic on our normal path down Columbus and through Kelly. So the safety of the patrons attending the Fine Arts Fair. I know that Trustee Weisenberg has requested that we lower the speed limit on the rerouting option that the police department is going to monitor after the street department posts it, and then business would just follow as normal.
And thank you, Trustee DeVore. Chief Sutton, anything else?
No, I support this. I think this is the safest way to close the street off entirely. Last year, or 2 years ago, we did a partial closure and there were a lot of safety issues. So we will be very sensitive to the rerouting traffic through the neighborhoods. We discussed this as far as signage, and we'll make sure that it's policed, so.
Thank you. Discussion? If you're ready for the question, then Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Carter?
Aye.
Trustee Mariscal?
Aye.
Trustee Kazam?
Aye.
Trustee Gett?
Aye.
Trustee Weisenberg?
Aye.
Trustee DeVore?
Aye.
All right, that passes. One final bit of business here, approval of a street closure for St. Patrick's Day. Trustee DeVore, I'd ask for a motion to approve that.
Make a motion to approve the street closure for St. Patrick's Day.
In a second.
Second.
Before we take any questions, Billy Blasek, I think I see you back there in the back of the room with a hat and a mask on. Would you please come forward, please tell us briefly about your event and what you've done to notify your neighbors and security?
Sure. So Billy Blasek, W.E. Sullivan's. I've met with Mayor Phelan and Chief Sutton a couple weeks ago after all the mitigations have been getting better, which is great for the restaurants and everywhere in the state and for all of us. And we talked about possibilities of having a St. Patrick's Day event like we, in some probably scaled down way than in the past. And then I met the week later over the phone with Chief Sutton about making sure that all of the rerouting and everything was going to be worked out with him, and he seemed to have full confidence in that. The only final hoop that I know that I will have after hopeful approval is working with the county health department to make sure that we are in compliance of every mitigation and anything that they want us to do, and any scaled down way or whatever version of it we can produce. I think the minimum would be of us only being allowed to put out tables and chairs and having extra seating, which would greatly help us and with crowd control. I know we've worked out security to where we'll have to limit our capacities inside, so I'll have to have additional security at my doors. And I know that there will be additional police on that day.
All right, before we take any questions, Chief Sutton, go right ahead. I know you studied this and support it.
That is correct. I do support it. I have met with Billy and on this many times. We've also met with the police department. We have a plan in place. It's going to be a little bit different this year, as Billy stated. It's going to be a scaled down event, and also paying attention to the indoor number of people is going to be a little bit different this year, where we're going to have officers assigned there. So in the past, I know that they, we've had some off-duty officers hired by the businesses, but we will also have full staff on board for that day, a little bit more than the art fair, definitely a different crowd. So we'll make sure it's policed well. And, and I'm anxious to hear what the outcome is with the health department. I know we'll continue to talk about that as we get closer.
For sure. I have a meeting tomorrow with my health department representative, and I know that they were talking with their superiors today also. So I should be able to get back to you by the week's end of at least some steps that they want me to proceed with.
Okay, we'll take any questions or comments anyone may have.
Was this letter sent out to the citizens in the Heights?
All the businesses, we sent it to Sarah, and then we left it up to the village to who they wanted it sent out to.
Did you say the residents, Trustee Weisberg?
Like along the closure route, it says Dear Neighbor, is that what this was for?
We can. That was just, I think, just a preliminary letter with their vision and
Okay.
before we met. But, we can. I think that we'll post that on our social media. We'll make sure we get it out, but I know a lot of people don't have that.
Right.
So I'm open to any suggestions you might have as far as notification, but we'll try to get as many media outlets as we can.
I think that's a good idea that we get the addresses and notify everyone who lives on that route so they're not surprised.
No, I think that is a great idea. So we'll make sure that once we get everything going, that we have enough time to notify those residents. And also the new speed limit.
Yes.
All right.
Actually, we should probably do that for both events, I think. Anyone else?
I have a question, this is Trustee Marscal. How are you going to, if the health department tells you you can only have a certain amount of people, are you selling tickets, or how are you going to control that?
Well, I know that we'll have entrances in each way, and we'll be monitoring them with some sort of a handheld clicker about people coming in and going. We are planning on having many, many more tables and chairs than we had in the past, so it's just not more free roaming, and we'll also have set up areas for groups to congregate within their group to try to still do the social distancing aspect of it. But once it gets to a certain point, we can't let anyone else in.
Does anybody know, is there kind of restrictions on the amount of people that can gather together even in an outdoor venue like that?
We've been looking.
It was 60.
I think that was the mitigation prior to what we're in now, as far as when it comes to outdoor. That was my understanding. Indoor is still restricted. But I'm sure the health.
I think there's some type of restriction on the outside though, Chief Sutton?
Not outside. That's what I'll be interested to see what the health department says, because they're going to come down and they're going to regulate what exactly, and we'll follow those regulations. So that's why I'm very, very anxious to hear what comes out of their next meeting, Trustee Mariscal. But from my understanding, it's an outside event. I don't know what the restrictions are, if any, with this new mitigation now. Of course, indoors, that's what we're going to have to pay attention to. But I think the health department will outline what Billy can do here, and then we will work with him along the way as far as entrances and try to monitor that, because, we do understand, what kind of crowds these bring. So it's something we're going to have to really pay a lot of attention to, because even though we're all excited about the event, we don't want it to get out of hand to a point where, we're not following the mitigations. And so I'm anxious to see what the health department says and what opinion they have on this. But obviously he's talked to them already, so they're expecting some kind of a get together.
Anyone else? Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Carter?
Aye.
Trustee Mariscal?
Aye.
Trustee Kazam?
Aye.
Trustee Gett?
Aye.
Trustee Weisenberg?
Aye.
Trustee DeVore?
Aye.
All right, that passes. Good luck, Billy. Okay, we've been at miscellaneous business. Any miscellaneous business to come before the board tonight? Hearing none. The treasurer did tell me he was going to be here tonight. I don't see him, so Madam Clerk, would you please give the treasurer's report?
As of the end of January, there was $3,983,550.48 in the village-controlled accounts. In the water-controlled accounts, there was $1,443,962.95.
All right, you've heard the treasurer's report. I would ask for a motion to approve it.
I make a motion to approve it.
Second.
I have a motion by trustee Getz, second by trustee Weisenberg to approve the report. Any discussion on the motion? Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Carter?
Aye.
Trustee Mariscal?
Aye.
Trustee Kazam?
Aye.
Trustee Gett?
Aye.
Trustee Weisenberg?
Aye.
Trustee DeVore?
That passes. All right, trustee Gett,
I make a motion to adjourn.
do I have a second?
Second.
I do by trustee Weisenberg. All those in favor of the motion to adjourn signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed? We're adjourned.